Hello, everybody, and welcome to Tiger Reacts. Of course, I'm your host, Tiger. Apologize for the state of me. It is like 1,000 degrees in the UK right now. We're all slowly melting, and if I want to do reaction videos, you're just gonna have to deal with me sweating my tits off. My house wants to kill me. Apparently. Anyway, we're going to dive back in and then react to Hoops and Hip Hop as he once again gives us more Paradox Pokemon. We reacted to the first one a couple weeks ago, and this is what if there were more Paradox Pokemon in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Number 2, let's go. I look forward to seeing what he creates.
So a couple weeks ago, I made a video where I created some brand new Paradox Pokemon,
which were very cool.
Scarlet and Violet, and thought about the idea of what it would be like if we got some more Paradox Pokemon in these games.
Very sick.
You guys really enjoyed that video and showed it a lot of love, which I really appreciate, so I decided today that I would go ahead and do it again.
Awesome.
Just like last time, in this video, we are going to be asking and answering the question of what it would be like if more Paradox Pokemon were in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. We're going to be looking at 3 Paradox forms in particular that I have created myself with the help of my good friend Oscar Belmonte, who has done the artwork for these designs, and I highly recommend checking him out in the description.
I actually follow him on Instagram.
I'd also like to just give you guys some advance notice really quick, but if you haven't been able to tell already by the sound of my voice, I am a little slightly under the weather, so that might affect how I sound in this video. I'm sorry. I'll try and make up for it by giving you guys some amazing new Paradox forms.
Hey, he's ill in this video. I'm sweating my ass off in this video. What are you guys? Are you guys 100%? Sorry, I had to make that joke.
So without further ado, let's just go ahead and get into it.
Hoops and Hip Hop.
Alrighty, so in the first video on this topic, I made 2 future Paradox form Pokemon and 1 past Paradox Pokemon. In this video, I have decided as such to flip that and make 2 past forms and 1 future form.
I was hoping he would do this because, yeah, he did 2 future ones, which are great, and 1 past one, which is great. So I was hoping he'd flip it, and yeah, he did, so yeah, cool.
And the first past form I want to focus on here is a past Paradox form of none other
Garchomp?
Than Garchomp.
Nice.
Not only is Garchomp a pseudo-legendary, but it is also one of the coolest and most popular Pokemon of all time.
True.
So it getting a past form would be amazing just based on that alone. But it actually has a really good reason as to why it could legitimately get a past form as well. You see, Garchomp is based on a shark, but it also walks on land. That is why its pre-evolution Gible is literally known as the land shark Pokemon.
This is facts.
Additionally, fans have pointed out a ton of similarities between Garchomp and the actual shark Pokemon, Sharpedo, to the point where it seems like, canonically,
oh, yeah, okay, now I see it now. Yeah, big fin, the teeth are similar, star on their head of some kind. I can kind of see where you get the similarity, the connection. Alright, okay, yeah, I'll see what you're building.
That these Pokemon are probably related to one another in some way. So, with all of these factors in mind, I thought it would be really cool to create a version of Garchomp that is a little closer on the evolutionary chain to its potential relative Sharpedo, and is a form from when it actually did reside in the water, and before it transitioned to living fully on land.
That's cool.
And that is what resulted in my past.
Whoa!
Now, this form of Garchomp, since it does reside a little more often in the water, is a dragon water type instead of dragon ground type. And as a part water type that does reside more often in the water, the fins on its body have been enhanced and enlarged for use in the actual water, and the idea is that over time, once it eventually made its way onto land and settled there permanently, that it evolved accordingly, and these giant fins that it has in this past form eventually shrunk and started to fade away.
Yeah, okay.
To eventually transition to its modern day land form.
Only thing is, though, aren't past Paradox forms meant to kind of resemble them still via their color palette? Because I'm sure Screamtail and Jigglypuff are the same shade of pink. Sandy Shocks and Magnemite are same colors. That's my only note, but I could be wrong.
And these giant fins are also what gave this version of Garchomp its name, or rather its code name, as it is known as Draconic Fin.
Oh, the name's sick. Oh, that is so sick. It actually gives me very like Pacific Rim vibes. It looks like something Pacific Rim would brawl with. It looks like it'd be gigantic. So I can see this working out very well. This is a very cool design. I like it.
Predator in the areas where it once lived, and in addition to its giant fins that help to differentiate it from regular Garchomp, another difference between the two that you may have noticed is in the coloration of Draconic Fin, and this is actually in reference to the beta design of Garchomp.
Okay, I'm gonna keep my mouth shut from now on
the internet a couple years ago. As a literal past form of Garchomp, this made for a nice nod in this past-oriented design.
Yeah, I like that.
Being able to reference both its actual...
I like the connection he's done. I'm sorry, I'm really sweaty right now. I like that connection when he does those sort of things. He's done that before in the past, where he's made those sort of connections, and I never really think about that when I make my own Fakemon, which I haven't actually shown any of you guys my Fakemon on my Osmon Library channel yet. Maybe I should start showing off my Pokemon, but yeah, it definitely seems pretty cool.
Development past as well as its in-game lore past in one design is really cool in my...
Whoa, that shiny form is mental. Holy shit on a biscuit. Ooh. Okay, I do think it should be its shiny form, though, instead of, like, yeah, I do like it a lot, but I think the normal's still just as good. But that shiny form's kind of sexy.
My opinion, and I think this would make for an amazing inclusion into Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. So if we end up getting more Paradox forms in future DLC, this is exactly the kind of thing that I personally would like to see.
Same.
And speaking of Paradox Pokemon that I would really like to see in these games if we ever did actually get more, for my next pick and feature of the video, I have none other than Cyndaquil. Now this one is obviously an extremely biased pick because...
No, okay, no, never mind. I was sat there thinking to myself, hang on a minute, but that doesn't make sense because it's a baby form Pokemon, but... Sandy Shocks is Magnemite, not it's not Magnemite, it's Magneton? No. Yeah, it's Magneton. Even though it evolves into Magnezone, and then Screamtail is Jigglypuff, even though that evolves into Wigglytuff. So, yeah, okay, they don't have to be the full evolution. Okay, sorry, my brain got confuddled here. Like I said, I'm running on steam, I'm sweating. It's just a hot mess in my room.
Cyndaquil is my favorite Pokemon of all time. But as my favorite Pokemon of all time, and also a starter Pokemon as well, I thought it would be absolutely fascinating to see what Cyndaquil could look like as a Paradox Pokemon. And it is actually going to be our designated future form Pokemon of the video, and it looks a little something like this.
Whoa!
Now, guys, if something like this ever actually happened in-game, I would probably have some kind of aneurysm, because it looks absolutely incredible.
Shit!
I wasn't kidding around when I told you my man Oscar Belmonte does amazing work, but basically what I wanted to do with this particular form of Cyndaquil is, first of all, make it a pure electric type, and essentially replace the flames that it spits out of its back with electricity, which was a pretty straightforward trade-off.
But it looks like a fucking power battery. This thing looks sick.
That I felt like made Cyndaquil a really good candidate for a future form. However, I also wanted to approach this particular future form a little bit differently, because the thing about the future Paradox Pokemon is that they're all basically just robots, and I wanted to give this design a little bit of a shake-up so it didn't just have to be a robot as well. And the way that I decided to do that without it entirely breaking the rules of the future Paradox Pokemon is to essentially model it after the design of Miraidon. Miraidon is also considered a paradox Pokemon just like all of the other future forms. However, its design comparatively is a little bit more varied in terms of what it has to offer. I can't really say it looks a little bit more natural or organic, but it's got more variance to its various features instead of just literally being a robot. I think if you take a look at Miraidon
fair.
and compare it to any of the other future paradox Pokemon, you can kind of see what I'm getting at. So essentially, I just wanted to inject some of that Miraidon design energy into this Cyndaquil future form so it could be a future form, but also not just...
Wow! Oh my god, I love the pink! Oh my, that sounded really gay! But I absolutely fucking love the shiny form. Oh my god, give me that shiny form right now. He hasn't given its name yet, has he? Like, did he forget to give me the name? Anyway, I really do enjoy the future idea for Cyndaquil. I like Cyndaquil too. I'm a big Firestarter player, even though I despise Charizard. But yeah.
Plain old robot, and I think that concept turned out really good, if I do say so myself. The name I have decided to give this version of Cyndaquil is also pretty straightforward too. It is simply Iron Quills, because
genius. Mind-blowing. I can't believe that you took time and effort to come up with that name. I would have never thought the name Iron Quills. Nah, I'm joking. To be fair, what else the fuck are you gonna call a fucking future paradox form of Cyndaquil? Let's be honest.
I think that just makes the most sense for a paradox form of Cyndaquil. And while we haven't really had any starter Pokemon get a paradox form yet, I feel like with this design, Cyndaquil has definitely put himself at the top of the list in terms of being a Pokemon that should get that honor. It's probably not one that is ever going to happen, but it clearly would be pretty cool, at least in my opinion anyway,
Yeah?
if it did. Moving along though, for our third paradox Pokemon of the video, we are going to go back to the past forms as previously stated, and give a past form to none
Rhydon?
other than Rhydon. Now, this paradox Pokemon is going to be a little bit more unique compared to the other ones I've created so far, because there is a very specific reason as to why I've decided to give Rhydon a paradox form, and there is a very specific inspiration behind Paradox Rhydon's design. Before we go any further though, let's go ahead and actually show you what this paradox form of Rhydon actually looks like. This is Origin Horn. Now, as mentioned, Origin Horn looks a little bit different compared to its...
Wow! Okay! It kind of looks like, the cousin to Nidoking and Nidoqueen. A little bit, I'm getting that sort of vibe. Tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. Go on, tell me I'm wrong. But it also kind of looks... The best way to explain it in my head is Pounder's Ninja Storm. The main Megazord has like a ninja mode where like it kind of like the bulkiness kind of like thins out and it becomes skinny. That is that to Rhyhorn. You get me? Like, hot damn, dog, this is sick looking. I can't wait to see shiny.
Base form.
Oh, and by the way, Origin Horn, sick name.
Than a lot of the other Paradox Pokemon, including the ones that I have created. However, there is a really specific...
Ooh, I actually kind of like it all grey, actually. That's kind of sick. That's kind of working for me.
Specific reason for this. I'm sure many of you are aware of this already, but Rhydon was the very first Pokemon ever created.
Yep.
And this fact alone, I thought, made Rhydon a prime candidate to be able to receive a really cool Paradox past form of itself that pays homage to this. So, rather than having the design of this Paradox Pokemon be based primarily on Rhydon itself, the design of Origin Horn is actually partly inspired by Rhydon's original design, from when it was indeed the very first Pokemon and was included in the initial concept pitch for Pokemon back when it was known as Capsule Monsters. From these original pitch documents,
that's why it's called Origin Horn, because he's got his idea concepts from the original. Okay, I like the wordplay, my guy. That's sick.
we've received a glimpse at what Rhydon used to look like back when it was a brand new design. And in order to once again pay homage to Rhydon as the very first Pokemon ever, I decided to base its past Paradox form on this design while still keeping some of the elements from the modern design in order to tie the two together and still have it be recognizable.
Yeah.
This inspiration is also why I have given the normal type to Origin Horn, as the normal type sort of represents a clean slate, if you will.
Okay, no, I get that. Yeah, it's the very first Pokemon. They didn't have all the typings before, back then. It makes sense to like kind of do it that way. Yeah, okay, I understand your normal typing.
Which Game Freak were working with at the time that Rhydon was created, when Pokemon had literally ceased to exist, and they were building it from the ground up. Also, very fittingly, this would have been at a time when the concept of Pokemon types hadn't even been created yet.
See, told you.
Those came a little later on in development, so I feel like giving it a type like normal is really symbolic of all of this. And with so much focus being put on the concept of the past in these games, I think it would be really, really cool to not only highlight the past in terms of the lore of the Pokemon world, but also the past in terms of the actual...
That's actually really clever, I like that.
Development of Pokemon as a franchise, and I feel like something like this would be a great nod to where it all started.
Yeah.
However, those are just some of my ideas of what I think it could be like if we did get more Paradox Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet. But now I want to know what you guys think. Do you like these ideas? Do you have...
Okay, if I had to rank them... Ooh, that's kind of hard. Iron Quills is first. I just love Cyndaquil too much. That's such a sick design. Making it electric type too, pretty fucking fire. Then I'm gonna have to say Origin Horn, and then Draconic Fin, whatever he's called, the first one that I shown. I'm gonna have to put it. The second one shown, the last one shown, first one shown, from going from top to the third. Personally, I think Iron Quills is awesome. I actually have a fun thing with future Paradox forms. I think they're really cool.
Any other ideas for other Paradox Pokemon yourself? Be sure to let me know all of those ideas and thoughts in the comments below, and leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe for more if you're new, because it helps out a lot and is greatly appreciated. If you'd like to help support the making of videos just like this as well, be sure to check out my Pokemon...
Okay, well, I'm gonna leave this, gonna pause it there, because he's just gonna do his outro now. So yeah, honestly, I think there were some really cool ideas. I really liked Iron Quills, and going through what I did, to catch up to where I was here, because I had to look at what was the last thing I reacted to from Hoops and Hip Hop to remind myself. Rewatch that video as well, then watch this one. I really want to start drawing more future Paradox Pokemon. I already have some Pokemon designed, but they're alternative versions of Pokemon that already exist, so maybe doing a future Paradox Pokemon could be a lot of fun, so I might do that. With that being said though, do of course hit that like button, subscribe button, and notification bell if you guys haven't already. We're over 500 subscribers on this channel. We're halfway to 1,000. Thank you so much everyone who has subscribed. If you guys haven't subscribed already, please do so. I appreciate every single one of y'all like no tomorrow. For the next couple of weeks, there'll be 2 videos on the channel. I know that I normally do 3, but just because of how hectic summer holidays is, this video is being dropped on Monday or Tuesday, don't know which one yet. I am going to be sticking to 2 videos a week just until we hit to September. Then when September falls in, then we can go back to our 3-day upload. I just need to make it somewhat easier on myself, because I plan on reacting to bigger projects now because I have more time to record it. But it's hard to do 3 big projects a week, if that makes sense. So look out for another video this week, and then 2 videos each a week going through the summer holidays. If you're in the UK, you know what that means. Thank you so much for watching this. Do let me know in the comments down below. Of course, if you guys watch Hoops and Hip Hop, which one out of the 3 are your favourites? And I have left the link to this video in my description, so make sure you go and check out Hoops and Hip Hop. He's done lots of art videos like this before. A lot more videos like this, by the way, when it comes to reacting to. There's a good couple of channels that I watch that do stuff like this, and I like reacting to these So there's definitely going to be some really fun ones out there. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button and notification bell. Roar with passion. I do love you all, and I shall see you guys in the next video. Bye.